This is a story that starts with a girl. She had just become a young woman by age, who had ginger red hair. The girl cares most for her family, and the family treated the girl gently, so softly, like a fragile snowflake. She never complained, never grieved, and never hated. Only thing she wished she wasn't was naive, just like the unlucky girl from a certain story. Because of the girl's illness, her family was reluctant to allow her to travel, until her Aunt Ro convinced them to allow the girl to stay up in the mountains with her. Aunt Ro lived in a winter wonderland. Her land, home, and neighborhood was always covered in white. The girl's first night there, Aunt Ro said she would read her a story. Ro said it was her favorite story, but by looking at the book, it looked like something a child drew and pieced together. It was called The Little Princess. The Little Princess. Once there was a girl, an unlucky girl. Everything bad that could happen to her, it actually did. Unclean, filthy, disgusting, wretch. Those are just a few things she was called. An unlucky girl, an unhappy past, a forgotten life. She forgot her friends, yet she never thought to even search for them because she forgot. She thought she could live without them forever. But her past caught up with her, tortured her, made her wonder why she was here, why she still existed. Her friends found her, dragged her back to before. So to remember the promises she made, the ones she forgot, the ones she made to the princess of the rose. The princess favored the unlucky girl, but never treated her as such. In fact, they only saw each other when the unlucky girl was a child. The princess treated her kindly when they were little. Back then, the unlucky girl felt like a lucky one. That's not the case now. The unlucky girl never realized, until it was too late, that her forgotten friends were acting on command from the princess of the rose. The cruelty the forgotten friends showed to the unlucky girl may have been horrible, but in the end, she got what she didn't think she wanted. Yet she did. She wanted to remember her 3 promises: everlasting, true love, and faith. But there was a catch. When the unlucky girl finally remembered, the Duchess of the Rose came to her and gave her 2 options. You can either go with our princess to the rose garden, or you can stay here with the rest of the aristocrats. Which will it be? The Duchess was considered to have a cold heart, so the unlucky girl knew not to trust her. There was more to what she said. The unlucky girl stood tall and bold, looked at the Duchess in the eye, and said, "You took my dog, you took my trust, but you will not take my sanity. I choose neither." The Duchess protested then. "The Princess of the Rose is giving you something wonderful. How could you refuse?" But the unlucky girl did not hear it. Instead, she ran and ran, past the corpse of her dog, and past the girl known as the sly treasurer. "You really are filthy. I should never have shown you pity," the sly treasurer said with a sleazy voice. But the unlucky girl kept going. She ran and ran and ran and ran. Before she realized it, she had been running and running too long when she found herself all alone. No one was around, not a soul. She was all by her lonesome in that empty world, all by herself. See, she could never get away, 'cause to get something you must give. The unlucky girl remembered what she forgot, but can you guess what she gave up? Well, alright, I'll tell you. Thanks to the prince of the rose, the unlucky girl gave up her freedom. The prince took her freedom, the freedom to get her own future, the freedom to be outside. Not only because it was the price that the unlucky girl had to pay, but because he was jealous. He found the unlucky girl to be a vice. The prince wanted the princess all to himself, so he hated the unlucky girl. He knew she'd run, so he made it impossible for her to ever go back home, ever again. Truly an unlucky girl. Truly an unlucky girl. Arrow read the last line, then shut the ragged book. Well, I guess some people are luckier than others, right? Ro asked her niece. Mm-hmm, the girl replied. Well, I'll tuck you in. I'm gonna be still up for a while, but you should get some sleep, Rose said as she stood up and started smoothing the comforter blanket out and tucking it under the girl. Good night, Scarlet of the Rose, and may the Rose Garden grant you a beautiful dream tonight, Rose said as she leaned in to kiss her niece on the forehead.
Come on, Aunt Ro, call me Scarlet.